All right, so for this week's discussion, I'm going to talk a little bit about Chalmers and his philosophical analysis, mostly revolving around artificial intelligence. And so to start, I'm going to define super artificial intelligence. And so this is basically the spawn of normal artificial intelligence. That normal artificial intelligence eventually over time learns how to self-improve itself. And so then you get that first level of the super artificial intelligence. But it doesn't stop there. That super artificial intelligence will eventually gain the ability to self-improve itself, and that process will go on and on and on, and you'll get all these levels of super artificial intelligence until eventually you arrive at infinite intelligence. And so that is really the end goal there. That is what we're trying to achieve with the super artificial intelligence. Now, the second prompt, I hope I received this question the way it was meant to be received, but sort of asked if, in my mind, a super intelligent being, whether or not I would see it as being more super moral, having reflective, rational characteristics and correlations, or if it would be more so on the selfish side of things. I'm definitely more inclined to say that you're gonna find a lot more of that super moral characteristic than the selfish side of things. I think you could either do one or the other. I don't think it would necessarily be an issue, but I think the super moral would definitely be the favorable display, and I don't know really why you'd want any kind of artificial intelligence to show those selfish attributes that could potentially lead to a dangerous iRobot type of situation in the future. But the next prompt concerned whether or not I would consider this to simplify basically a consciousness transfer from one body to another. Obviously, it's a pretty crazy question. It depends on a lot of things. In general, I would consider the thought of cryogenically freezing my brain and undergoing a consciousness transfer. The amount of money I paid for it would depend on how efficient and consistent and safe it had been proven to be. And those same circumstances would also apply to how quickly I wanted it to go into effect after leaving my original body. That's definitely a good thing to have in place. Is a kind of a decision between bodies when you want that to kind of go into place. I could think of all kinds of different crazy situations. Maybe you die in a car accident with your 80-year-old wife who doesn't have this set up, and so that late into your life, is it really worth coming back by yourself in another body? And you can make up stuff all day, but it's definitely an important thing to have in place so that you don't have anybody get thrown into a situation or an awkward predicament that they didn't ask to be in. And so I admire the decision to have that in place. It's definitely necessary, even though I can't give you a solid answer really there. And to wrap up, so the additional thoughts, I didn't really think of anything super profound throughout this lesson. Nothing really came to my mind. I just sort of focused on this. The one thing that was in the back of my mind as of lately, Tesla is something that has really impressed me. Their autopilot and auto park features and how just completely able the Tesla vehicles are at being able to do that without pretty much any human intervention at all. I think that's really neat, and we don't hear about it enough for how impressive and cool it is. On the other hand, though, I wholeheartedly believe there's a lot of technology and advancement that we don't know about and probably will never know about. And so, the future and technology and artificial intelligence could definitely get a little scary. And so I always try to keep that in mind. But that will do it for this week's discussion.